Last week, I had the opportunity to attend the IRS Tax Forum in my hometown of Chicago, Illinois. I had never been to one before, and it was quite enlightening. It was a 3-day event with informative seminars all throughout the day. A lot of the top IRS people were there, including IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel, and the head of the Taxpayer Advocate Service, Erin Collins, was there as well. In this video, I'll reveal the most essential insights I gained from the forum, information that could directly impact your taxes. You won't want to miss this. At the IRS Tax Forum, I attended about 15 seminars. Some were better than others. Most people would find the information incredibly boring, but as a tax professional, I was there to learn as much as I could, and as a YouTuber, I wanted to get some great content for the channel. Jumping right in. Number 1, the new era for the IRS. The IRS was given a lifeline, if you will. $60 billion in new funding, which according to the commissioner was desperately needed. According to the IRS commissioner, it's a truly historic time at the IRS. You might think that's a bad thing, but they really need to overhaul the IRS. I mean, they're using computers from the 1950s. They're still using fax machines. If you want to communicate with them, you either need to call them, good luck with that, or mail a letter, hope they receive it, and wait months for a response. So what can you expect now? They're modernizing the way you can communicate with them and how you can get your questions answered and even paying your taxes. They've introduced a new and improved individual online account. You can make your tax payments, resolve tax issues, view your balance, and review your tax records. Seriously, this has improved so much. If you haven't already done so, you should set up an IRS individual online account. You'll thank me later. Imagine this. Let's say you get a letter from the IRS, but you don't know if it's real or if it's a scam. Well, if you have an IRS online account, you can log in and see if they really sent you a letter or not. It's really handy, and they've improved it so much. They've even got a document upload tool where you can upload your documents directly. No more mailing your response or faxing them. Seriously, who even has a fax machine anymore? Some other things, check this out. Coming soon, you can set up an installment agreement, a lien payoff calculator, sign up and view your IP PIN. That's for your identity protection. It'll prompt you if they can't deliver mail to you, track your refund, check your audit status, and enhanced transcript integration. This is part of their modernization, and it will just continue to get better. Keep in mind, for years, the IRS said they wouldn't email you. Scratch that, reverse it. It's changed, and if you opt in, and you need to opt in for this, they can email you about your taxes. They also now offer text messaging alerts, but like emails, you need to opt in for this. Number 2, IRS Collections. I took a really good seminar with a Mr. Frank Augustino. He talked about the best practices for responding to IRS collection notices. He noted that there are 15 million taxpayers in the collection division of the IRS. He said that the IRS is overwhelmed and they want more stuff done online. Waiting for letters in the mail and faxes is a slow process. Did you know you can scan the QR code on your collections letter and upload your documents and respond to the notice right there? Another important thing to note is that whenever you receive an IRS notice saying that you owe money, you need to trust but verify the information. Most people assume the tax notice they receive is correct. But did you know the IRS has an error rate of 2 to 4% from third-party information that's sent to the IRS? That means that oftentimes the information reported about you to the IRS might not be accurate. Don't assume these collection notices are correct. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine had a large tax due balance with California. They had been receiving collection notices to the point where their bank account funds were seized. They contacted me and I gathered all the information, including their tax transcripts. I couldn't figure out where they were getting the numbers from for the taxes owed. So I had them call up and ask. Ends up, the tax folks in California, estimated the income figures even though my friend didn't work that year for health reasons. The tax due amount was eliminated. The bottom line is you need to determine if you really owe the tax. It could be an identity theft issue. This is a huge problem for the IRS right now, and keep in mind it takes 22 months to fix an identity theft issue with the IRS. Ouch. Number 3, IRS scams and schemes. There was a really eye-opening panel on scams and schemes. One of the things an IRS employee stressed is there's no such thing as free money. Remember that whenever you hear about something on social media about free grants, free tax credit money, or anything like that, the IRS is aware of all the scams and schemes going around. A big one they talked about is the employee retention credit. I've got a playlist I'll link up here if you want to learn more about that. They also talked about the fuel tax credit scheme. Another one was the self-employed tax credits that people were being misled into taking. They're going after scammulent tax preparers and those who fake W-2s to get a large refund. They recognize that they are slow, but they are coming. The IRS has increased investigations, and with their $60 billion in new funding, they now have the resources to go after these. They know these scams and schemes are being spread through social media, and they're taking it very seriously. And they are monitoring social media. And do also keep in mind, when they catch these scammers and schemers, they don't usually publicize the results, so you won't hear about it. And the scammers won't talk about it either. So don't think they're all getting away with it. They're not. They understand the culture of fraud is getting worse and worse, especially with overseas fraudsters having access to the American taxpayers. Just be careful, and remember, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Number 4, your taxpayer rights. If you didn't know, the IRS has what's called a taxpayer bill of rights. In summary, you have the right to be informed. You deserve clear explanations about tax laws and IRS procedures. You have the right to quality service. The IRS must treat you with courtesy and provide prompt professional help. You have the right to pay no more than the correct amount of tax. You should only pay what you owe, no more, no less. You have the right to challenge the IRS position and be heard. You can object to IRS actions and provide supporting documentation. You have the right to appeal an IRS decision in an independent forum. If you disagree with the IRS, you can appeal their decision. You have the right to finality. You have the right to know the deadlines for challenging the IRS or for the IRS to collect the tax. For example, the IRS has 10 years in which to collect a tax debt from you after it's been assessed. You have the right to privacy. The IRS must respect your privacy and only inquire as necessary. You have the right to confidentiality. Your information is confidential and cannot be disclosed without your permission. You have the right to retain representation. You can choose a representative to deal with the IRS on your behalf. As a side note, if you're ever in an audit representing yourself and you just feel way over your head, you can ask for representation right there. And the audit stops immediately, temporarily of course, so that your representative can step in. And that's 10 days. You have the right to a fair and just tax system. The tax system should consider your unique circumstances, and you can seek help from the Taxpayer Advocate Service if needed. If you feel you're being discriminated against, the IRS even has a civil rights division designed to uphold and protect a person's civil rights. Also, if someone needs reasonable accommodations, under the law, these must be provided. Knowing your rights ensures you're treated fairly by the IRS. If you feel your rights are being violated, speak up, ask for a manager, or seek professional help. These rights are there to protect you. Number 5, IRS audits. Let's talk about IRS audits. This was a seminar given by Alan Pink, EA. The purpose of an IRS audit is to make sure the tax return is substantially correct. So this doesn't mean they're going to check everything for 100% accuracy. They use the 80-20 rule. If an IRS examiner is comfortable with 80% of the return being correct, then you're probably good. Understand that audits will end in one of 3 ways. 1, you owe the government money. 2, the government owes you money. 3, the return is accepted as filed. That's easy enough. So how are returns selected? They do this a couple of ways. For example, if they can identify that you're involved with, let's say, an abusive tax avoidance scheme, they'll gather all those names of people involved and audit them. They also use computer scoring called DIF, which helps to identify tax returns that may need further review. All returns get a DIF score based on norms, averages, or anything unusual. So if your return diffs out, it means you got selected for an audit. They also use information matching. They get information reported to them from your employer, side jobs, investments, banks, and even eBay. If you don't report the information on your tax return, the IRS will know about it. And now with AI, their audit selection process will likely be even more improved. Another way is if someone is using a bad preparer, for example. This could be like a ghost preparer, somebody who doesn't sign the returns, a fly-by-night preparer. And let's say they catch that bad preparer who's maybe falsifying tax deductions or credits. You better believe they'll audit all the returns that bad tax preparer prepared. I learned a ton at the Tax Forum, and I thought these would be the top things that would be of interest to you. If you got value from the video, please do me a favor, give the video a like and consider subscribing to stay connected. Thank you for watching and see you in another video.